The Emperor's New Groove is a 2000 American animated buddy comedy film produced by Walt Disney Feature Animation and distributed by Walt Disney Pictures. What's good? It's a boy dude reviews, and today we're going to have a look at the 40th animated Disney feature film in the Disney canon, which was directed by Mark Dindal from a script by David Reynolds, based on a story by Chris Williams and Dindal. The voice cast features David Spade, John Goodman, Eartha Kitt, Patrick Wardenberg, and Wendell Malick. And what's this movie all about? An arrogant and selfish young emperor, Kuzuku, is transformed into a llama by his power-hungry advisor, the evil diva Yuzuma. Stranded in the jungle, Kuzuku's only chance to get back home and reclaim the high life rests with a good-hearted peasant named Pacha. Together, they must return Kuzuku to the throne before Yuzuma tracks them down and finishes him off. Development of the film began way back in '94 when the film was originally conceived as a musical epic titled Kingdom of the Sun. Following his directorial debut with The Lion King in '94, Roger Allers recruited English musician Sting to compose several songs for the film. Because of the underwhelming box office performance of the Pocahontas film and The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Mark Dindal was brought in as a co-director to make the film more comedic, but due to poor test screenings, creative differences with Mark Dindal, and production failing behind schedule, Roger Allers was departed. He departed from the film, and the film became a light-hearted comedy instead of a dramatic musical. A documentary called The Sweet Box, made in 2002, details the production troubles at The Emperor's New Groove endured during its 6 years of development. The film was then finally released on December 15, 2000, but it performed disappointingly at the box office compared to Disney films of the past, grossing only $169 million on a budget of $100 million. However, the film found larger success when it became a home media on video and DVD, and became the best-selling DVD of 2001. It received generally favorable reviews from critics who praised it as one of the best films during the Disney post-Renaissance era and the most comedic. It was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Song for the song My Funny Friend and Me, performed by Sting, but lost to Things Have Changed by Bob Dylan for Wonder Boys. It got a directed-to-DVD sequel and an animated spin-off. And what do I think about this film? Well, let's talk about the good. And the good is definitely Kuzuku's and Patches, buddy, there's I do like these two together, I like how they work off one another. And yeah, Kuzuku's just this really arrogant guy, It's interesting having a main Disney character be an absolute jerk. In a way, you can kind of see him as the villain, which I kind of thought was a nice change of pace, When you look at all these Disney films, most of them, if not all of them, have a lead character who is absolutely likable. But straight off the bat, this guy has everything he wants. He's rich, he's wealthy, he's popular, and he's a jerk to everyone, He's selfish, he's over pampered, and he doesn't give a crap about anyone or anything, He wants to build some sort of mansion on Patch's land, and he's a horrible guy, you just look at him, you're like, how the heck can anyone like this guy, And yeah, in a way, I kind of get why Yuzuma is the villain, wants to kill Kuzuku, because he's just a nasty boy, He freaking fired her because he didn't like the way, she was ruling the kingdom in a way, how she was wanted to become the ruler, because the guy's a jerk, he's not a good leader in a way. And I get it, I actually kind of get it, I flipping also the design of the villain, she has this very unique look to her, a very interesting design, she has definitely the best design. She reminds me of Cruella de Vil, just her body proportions are just so great, And it's a bit random that he's turned into a llama of all animals. I don't know what that's meant to symbolize, but yeah, he's a lemur, and it's weird, it's funny, and yeah. Honestly, when I first watched this film, I didn't know where it was gonna go. I just thought it was about this big guy who finds a talking llama, but The find out that it's this arrogant guy who transforms into a llama was very unexpected and very kind of hilarious, you know. And yeah, um, as I said, the designs are very unique in a way. They kind of reminded me of Hercules designs in a way, like some of the designs, you know, has a sort of like Gerald Scarfe look in a way, like the extreme body proportions and like the angular shapes in a way. It does remind me of that. The character motion is also pretty damn amazing, you know, particularly maybe like the earlier sequence, you know, with Kuzuku just kind of dancing and showing off and being a prat, you know. I thought like that animation was pretty damn nice, you know, and yeah, I liked it. Let's go into my mixed aspects of the film, and it's more like to do with like negatives. It's like the predictable plot. I knew where this film was gonna go right from the off, you know. It was extremely predictable. It's about this guy, he's a jerk, then he's transformed into an animal, he meets another guy, he realizes his ways, and he, you know, he goes back to normal. It's like, I kind of seen it with like Beauty and the Beast and like other movies where you've got, you know, a prince of some kind and he's being a horrible guy to everyone and he turns into an animal. And yeah, I feel like it's just been done better in the past, the whole concept of the plot in a way, you know. Also, the visual look may have that, you know, look to it, but at least with Hercules there was color, there was vibrancy. This film kind of looks a bit bland, and the funny thing is that the moment he becomes a llama, I kind of think the animation kind of drops in like quality, you know, in terms of like the visual look. It starts to look really bland and really boring and kind of dull, you know, like the colors all start to be a bit muted, you know, which I don't really understand why they did that. Like how in the beginning when they're in the palace there's so much color, there's blue on gold, there's red on like gold, it's so vibrant and it pops. But then when they start to go out in the real world, the real world starts to look really dull and drab, and it's like, ew, come on, they could have really, you know, umped it up, you know. Also, reading how this film was originally meant to be a musical epic, I was interested. I would have liked this to be a musical. I think it would have maybe have given it a little bit more, you know, I think it would have given it a bit more flair, because the way this movie is paced out has, I don't know, this film isn't that long, but I feel like it's kind of slowly paced. And again, it happens when the guy turns into a llama and he meets the guy, you know. Despite me liking their buddy-buddy relationship, I kind of got a bit bored of like those plots. I kept loving it when it kept cutting back to the villain. I thought that was like the best aspect of the film, you know. I kind of found I don't know, it just started to like go a bit downhill for me, and I just started to like not enjoy it as much, you know. And it, yeah, because when it began I was like, okay, I'm liking where it's going, and then it just kind of went into that, oh, that cliche route, and I was like, oh no, not for me. And even like the soundtrack score isn't that amazing, you know. It was done by John Debney, and it's not that great, you know. The voice acting is very meh, but again, the voice cast for the villain Eartha Kitt, I felt like once again I freaking loved that character and I love her voice, but I found it kind of boring, you know. Like a lot of the voice acting wasn't that great, you know. And I also feel like Dinosaur onwards, apart from one particular film, every single Disney film after Dinosaur just went downhill in terms of the storytelling, you know. I feel like despite the animation being good on some of them, the storytelling just wasn't there, you know. There wasn't, it didn't, I feel like the writers didn't know how to make likable characters that we could root for in a way, you know. Apart from that one flick, I'll give you a little taster. It's set in Hawaii. Yeah, I'll review that film later on, but this film is got good animation, it's got a good first act, but it kind of drops in quality towards the second and third act, and the resolution towards the end is like very predictable. So with that, I'm going to give this film a 5, and I'm going to give it a C minus. I have kind of recommended checking it out, you know. It's not a bad film, it's better than Dinosaur by a long shot, but it's just not for me. But thanks for watching this review. Please like and share this video and comment down below and tell me what's your favourite Disney flick. With that, thank you for watching, and as always, Boyded Reviews signing out.